Hello everyone, this is part 3 of this week's videos where we are going to continue the previous discussion of advanced Excel functions, and today we are going to start from the substitute function. So substitute is a text-based function which is used to change existing text to another text. For example, we have item and description table here where we have 3 items: TV, AC and PC. We want to convert these to their actual names. So let's do this. Add an equal sign, substitute. Here it asks for the text which we are going to convert to another text. So we are going to convert this text, and from here the old text, which is TV, should be converted to another text. For example, television. So I want to convert TV to television in this cell, and if I close parentheses, press enter, it gives me television. Now if I drag this down, it is not going to work for the rest of the cells because we have not mentioned the rest of the cells here. We have only mentioned TV, and that should be converted to television. If we want to convert the other ones as well, we can come here and add another substitute. In this text we are going to convert AC, which is in the second cell of items column, and that should be converted to air conditioner. If I close parentheses and press enter, now let's drag this down. The air conditioner is also placed instead of AC. At the end I want to convert this PC to personal computer. Close parentheses and press enter. Now let's drag this down, and we have all the descriptions placed. We use substitute function in a long text where we want to replace existing text to another text. Another useful function is this repeat function, REPT. This repeats a text at a certain number of times that you specify. For example, we have this employee data set where we have ID, name, department, salary, performance rating. Now we want to show this performance rating with stars. For example, if a performance rating of someone is 4, we need to repeat a star 4 times here, and if that is 5, we need to repeat it for 5 times. So what we can do is to add an equal sign, REPT. I want to repeat this star how many times? For this number of times, whatever the value here is. Close parentheses, and it will repeat star 4 times because we have 4 here. If we drag this down, so we can apply the function to all, now we see a good rating here: 4 times, 5 times, 4, 3, 3, and so on. So this is how we use a repeat function for repeating a text at a certain number of times. Let's move on to conditional formatting. We can use conditional formatting to format something based on a specific condition. For example, we have month here and sales here in this first table. We have the same data set 3 times because we want to use conditional formatting 3 times for different purposes. I want to select this sales amounts, and if we come to this conditional formatting in the home ribbon, we can see that there are a lot of options, and let's explore some of them here. The first thing that I want to show you is this data bars. If we select this data bars and select any one of them, it will give a good chart for the values that we have selected. We can select any color, but let's select the first one. It gives some insight to us and shows the highest values, the lowest values, and the middle values. So the values that are ranging from 3000 and goes above, they are highest values. The values that are ranging from 1000 to 2000, they are shown as middle values, and below 1000 are shown low values, like this. If we select the sales amount again and go to conditional formatting, this time let's give it some color scales. So let me select this first one. Here it will give colors to the value ranges. So the values that are above 3000 are colored green, the values between 1000 and 2000 are colored light red, and the values below 1000 are colored dark red. Let's select the sales amounts in the third table as well and go to conditional formatting. This time let's format it based on icons. If I select these icons or shapes or indicators, whatever you prefer, I prefer the first one, the icons. If I select the first one, now this shows the values that are going up with green arrows and the values that are down or below a certain range that are shown as red arrows, which are going down. We can select it again and change the icons if you want to. For example, I can select these icons and we see a check mark and a cross sign. If you are still with me, please like this video, subscribe to the channel and add your questions in the comments section. Let's now see some advanced usages of conditional formatting. If I go to conditional formatting and go to highlight rules, I can say that show me the values greater than a value, less than a value, between, equal to, text that contains a certain word or something like that. So let's begin from greater than. Let me select salary, go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, show me those values which are greater than 70,000. And here we can select some default rules. For example, light red fill with dark red text, yellow fill or green fill or something like that. And we can also go to custom format to format it based on our own choices. For example, I want to bold that, I want to give it a border, or no, I want to fill that with this color, green. And if I click OK, now we see that the values which are above 70,000 are formatted based on our selection. If I go to conditional formatting again and click clear rules from the entire sheet, it will clear all the conditional formatting rules. Go to highlight cell rules again and we can select other rules here. For example, show me values which are less than 60,000 or less than 65,000. So it will show us all those values which are less than 65,000. Let me cancel this. One more thing, let's select department and go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, show me the text that contains HR or finance or IT. For example, I want to see all ITs with green fill. Okay, so these are the values with department IT. Let's go to conditional formatting and clear the rules. We can also select this date range, go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules and show me a date that is in the previous month. We can see all the options that we can select. So let's select last month and give it a red text color. Okay, so the last month values will be shown with red text. Let's select the salary column again, go to conditional formatting, and this time I want to see the top 10% or bottom 10% of this range. First of all, let me select top 10 items without percentage, and I don't want to select top 10 but top 3. Show me only top 3 values. Okay, and it's formatted here. We can also go back and say that show me top 10% with the green color, or let's make it top 25% with green color, or top 50% to see more values. Okay, now we see that the top 50% values are colored green. Let's go back and clear all the rules. Select salary again, go to conditional formatting, and this time I want to make a new rule by myself. So let me select new rule. We have several rules here. Format all cells based on their values, format only cells that contain something specific, or this is a range, format only top or bottom ranked values like top 10, top 5, format only values that are above or below average, format only unique or duplicate values. For example, let me cancel this and go to this name column, select all the names, go to conditional formatting. We can format the duplicate and unique values in this range. If I go to highlight cell rules, we have duplicate values here, or if we go to new rule, we have duplicate or unique values here as well. So show me duplicate values with this format, this red background. OK, and if I click OK, we will see duplicate values with red color background. We can also go back to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, go to duplicate values, and this time I'm saying that show me unique values with green color. OK, so the duplicate will be shown with a red color background and the unique values are shown with green color. If you go back to conditional formatting and click manage rules, we can see all the rules that we have made here. We can delete them, we can edit them, or we can make new rules as well from here. Click OK, and let's clear all the rules from this sheet. Make sure you explore all the remaining rules and play with them. Next is data validation. Data validation is a very important topic in data analytics, and we can use it for drop downs and certain ranges that you want specific values to be placed in a range. For example, under department, I want to have specific values, not anything should be entered here. So what we can do is to go to the data ribbon, and under data ribbon we can see this data validation section. Under data tools we can see data validation section. So under department I want to have specific values like HR, finance, IT and so on. I only want department to be entered here, not anything else. So let's go to data validation, click data validation, and it will show us the data validation window. This has 3 tabs: settings, input message and error alert. Let's see settings first. Under settings, in the validation criteria, we want to allow certain values. So do I want to allow any value or whole number, decimal, list, or anything else? So let's start from this list because we want to give it a list of department. Let me select list, and here we will give the list. What list do I want to appear in that drop down? For example, I want to see HR, finance, IT and sales. Click OK, and now we will see a drop down appearing here. If I click the drop down, I can select HR, finance, IT and sales only. So let me drag this down so we can apply this to the entire column like this. Now we will see a drop down in each cell of this column. If I select the drop down and click HR, it will place HR there. If I write something else, for example marketing, and press enter, it's going to give me an error. It's not letting me enter any value that is not in the list. So this is data validation rule that we have applied. Let me cancel this and select a value from this list, IT. What if I want to add another item to this list? I need to go to data validation again, and in this list I will need to add another value. But we can also make this list dynamic. Let me delete this. Let me clear all and click OK. Let me delete the existing values as well. I want to make this drop down dynamic. So what I can do is to select a column from here or from another sheet, but I want to make it here. In column J, let's add the values. Now I'll click in the department again, go to the data validation, select list, and in the source I will select that column. So I will click here and Control Shift down again to select the entire column and click OK. Now I have selected the entire column J for the drop down, and if I click here I can see HR, sales, finance, IT that we have placed under column J in the department drop down. Now if I select sales, it will place sales here, and if I want to add another item to this list, I can just come to column J and add another item, for example marketing. Press enter, and now if I come to this drop down, this will be updated. Let me click here, and now we see marketing. Because we have selected the entire column, so anything that comes in this column will be available in this drop down. Let's go to the salary. This time click on data validation, and I want to select whole number here, and the whole number should be between 40,000 and 60,000. And let's now see the other 2 tabs, the input message and the error alert. In the input message, before entering the value, this message will appear to the user so they can understand what the available range of values is for this column. So the title is salary validation. The input message, please enter a value between 40K and 60K. And in the error alert, if someone adds a value that is not in the range, then what should be the message that appears as the error message? So I can select the icon of stop, warning and information. Let's select stop and give the error message a title. If I click OK, now first of all we see the input message, that's salary validation. Please enter a value between 40K and 60K. Let me drag this down to apply this to all the cells, and if I enter a value between 40K and 60K, that will be allowed. For example, 40,000 allowed, 60,000 that is allowed, 45,000 that is allowed. But if I add 30,000, let's see, I press enter, and now the error message that we constructed before is appearing here. Data validation error is the title, and the available range of values is between 40K and 60K. This is the message. Let's cancel this. Make sure you go to data validation and explore the other options like date, time, text length, custom and other options here. If I want to delete all the rules, I can just clear all and click OK. So everything will be clear. In the data cleaning process, you will often delete duplicate values from the range that you are working with. For example, I have this employee data. I can select the entire table and now go to the data ribbon, and under data ribbon we have an option that is remove duplicates. If I click this option, it says do you want to remove duplicates from the entire range. If I click OK, now see that we have values till row number 16. If I click OK, it deletes one duplicate. Let me click OK and Control Z this. We have a duplicate value. We can find duplicate using the conditional formatting as well. For example, let me select this entire range, go to home ribbon, conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, find me duplicates. It says these values are duplicates. Okay, HR is duplicate, that doesn't matter. Performance rating doesn't matter, but what matters the most is this entire row of Lisa. Lisa working in IT department, and the record is the same with this Lisa. So the entire record is repeated twice. So we can delete this using two methods. First of all, I will click on this Lisa, right click and go to filter. Filter these cells by color, by the selected cells color. If I select this, now I can see that these two rows are repeated. I can delete one of them. Or let me Control Z and select the entire range, go to the data ribbon, click remove duplicates, and it will remove duplicate from this table. If I click OK, that Lisa's one record will be deleted and one record will remain here. So this is how we deal with duplicates. In this section, let's see some basic charts that we can use in MS Excel. For example, I have the same employee data here. If I want to insert a chart, for example, I want to insert a chart for department and the performance rating, or department and salary, I can go to Insert tab, and from the Insert ribbon I can insert any type of chart that I want from here. We can insert lines, we can insert maps, we can insert bar charts, we can insert columns. So let me select two columns from here, department and the performance rating. If I go to recommended charts, here we see many types of charts. It actually aggregated the values, and now it's showing me the aggregated data's chart, which we can call a pivot chart as well, that we are going to see later. Currently, let's explore all charts. The first one here is the column chart, and it has different version like this, different looks. The next one is a line chart, which we use for time series analysis. Then we have pie chart, which we use for percentages of grand total. Then there is a bar chart similar to column chart. There is an area chart, which is almost similar to line, but we see area like this. Then we have scatter plots. We have map for geolocations. We have stocks, surface charts, radar, tree map, and so on. Make sure you explore all of them. Currently, I want to insert column chart. If I click OK, we see this chart, but this is actually not a real chart, because in a real chart we will have aggregated values based on departments. Currently it's repeating all the records that we have selected. Let's see how we can format this chart. First of all, when we insert a new chart, we see two new tabs appearing on top. One is chart design, another is the format. Let's see chart design. In the chart design, there are already formattings applied and there are already themes there. We can select, for example, I want to select this one, I want to select this one, or this one. Whatever you prefer, you can select it from here. You can change the color, you can change the layout or everything else. If you go to format, you can format this. For example, I want to change the background to this one. I want to change the style like this, and so on. I also can right click here and see other options. For example, I want to change the chart type. I can change it to this, okay, and it will be changed. Right click, increase the size of this. Right click here, select data. Under select data, you can select or deselect any values that you want from here. You can remove, you can add, you can edit, you can even switch these two, switch it back and click OK. If you double click this chart, you will see format chart area on the right. You can change the formatting from here as well, like the fill color, the border, the shadow, glow, the edges, the properties, and you can also go to text options. You can change text styles and everything from here. Let me close this. Here you have a plus icon, and if you click this, it will give you some options. What do you want to display in this chart and what do you want to hide? For example, do you want access titles? Do you want data labels? The labels are the values that you see on top of every bar. If I click chart title, it will show me a chart title which I can edit and write a meaningful title here. We can also display a table below the chart. We can show error bars, grid lines, and also we can add a legend to the right. We can also click this filter button to filter this chart by selecting or deselecting these values. Let me delete this chart and go to insert tab again. Insert, for example, this line chart. I want to insert this line chart, and we can see the line chart like this. We can format it the same way that we formatted the previous chart. Like this one, I want to select this theme. Make sure you play with these charts because we are going to study these charts in another lesson as well. Now here is a task for you guys. I have placed a big data set for you, that is the orders and sales data set. It has 1000 records. There are 5 tasks that you need to complete. The first one is add data validation on category column to get values from a list of given categories. So we have a category column here. If I add a filter, it has specific values. So it has 5 values: accessories, appliances, clothing, electronics, and footwear. Make sure you add data validation on this column to select values from this specific range of values that I showed to you. So if anyone comes here and adds something else, that should not be acceptable. Number 2, make a pie chart to show the percentage of delivered and cancelled orders. Include a pie chart and show the percentage of delivered and cancelled orders. Show me how much is the percentage of delivered orders and how much is the percentage of cancelled orders. Adjust the date formats. There are dates which are not in the right format, like this one and like this one. You need to adjust the formatting. Find orders with quantity of more than 40 using conditional formatting. Use conditional formatting to show those orders where the quantity is more than 40. Then find people with age over 50 using conditional formatting. So these are the tasks for you. Make sure you complete them, and let me remind you that whenever you complete these tasks, make sure you show this on a LinkedIn post. Okay, go to LinkedIn. If you have a profile, that's fine. If you do not have a profile, make sure you create one with proper branding, like proper display picture, proper cover photo. So make sure you show your work on LinkedIn and mention me there so I can also see your work and appreciate it. So that's it for today. This is the last video of this week. In the coming week, we are going to talk about data analysis using pivot tables. Thanks for watching.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror